Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about my thoughts on the Marvels movie. So I watched it early this month, and I avoid talking about it only because, there's so many people who just simply don't like this movie, been ripping it to shreds, this and that. And I understand the criticism. This is not a very particular good movie and stuff. And it's really sad that it isn't, because you knew going into this movie there was a lot of hate from the anti-woke mob only because this movie is diverse with women and tons of people of color. Heck, I truly believe that Brie Larson is the only white person in this movie. I don't even think the extras in the background are white and stuff. But like, this movie just didn't hit the nail the way it should have. They could have reworked this movie so much better with a better narrative and had a much stronger movie, because Brie Larson gets a lot of hate for no apparent reason, all because of a comment she made that pissed off white people. And the comment isn't even, they're mad, it's not even like what they think it is. She just said, like, she was in this movie with a bunch of people of color, and she said something like she doesn't want some old white man telling, like, critiquing this movie, telling her, I forget exactly what she said. Something about an old white man critiquing a person of color movie, like he know everything about like people of color, something like that. It's something along those lines and stuff. And that just angers so many white people and stuff, because they feel like they're entitled to have an opinion about like everything and stuff. Even matters they don't understand, like when it comes to other people races and stuff. And so her comment was never that bad, but they took it way out of control and just started hating on her and stuff like that. But then, but when it comes to this movie, you think they would try to make it better, because people don't like her acting. People don't like Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel and everything. People don't like Miss Marvel. People don't like the MCU right now. And it's just kind of like, they should have done better. Clearly, Kevin Feige is not doing his job overseeing all this stuff, because if he did, all the writers would be in sync. This movie is the storytelling of this is so weird. It's like all the writers from Secret Invasion, not Secret Invasion, yeah, Secret Invasion, the first Captain Marvel movie, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision just all didn't get together. And they just kind of like did their own thing. And these characters don't have the same personalities as they did before, coming off the things they just did. Now, to be fair, one of the writers for WandaVision is one of the head writers for this movie. And that's because what is it? Is it Monica Rambeau? I keep getting her and her mom name mixed up. Yeah, Monica Rambeau. And so, because of that, she's one of the head writers. Now, it's still pretty sad that Nia DaCosta left this movie halfway in. Because, like, she didn't finish directing the movie, and there's been a lot of controversy to that. Now, she is also one of the writers of this movie, along with somebody else. And I'm not sure even what she's written and stuff. I know she's written the Marvels, but I don't think she's done anything else in terms of like Marvel related stuff. I'm looking very quickly. Oh, the weather's messing up my internet. Ain't that funny? Anyway, but it's just like there's a lot of things wrong with this movie. And one of the main things that's wrong with this movie is, I've said this before, if you have to ask the question of why something happens over and over and over in the movie, you're not going to have a good time watching the movie. That's simply just how it is and stuff. And there are so many things that like make you ask simply why. Okay, yeah, the other lady who wrote this movie, she was involved in Loki. Loki ain't got nothing to do with this movie. The only things that's related to Loki in this movie is that Tom Hiddleston's girlfriend is in this movie. So I don't understand why this woman was even involved and she don't know these characters. And the writers for Captain Marvel movie isn't even a part of this, nor are the writers for Miss Marvel, the television series. So why in the world did they bring in all these other writers to write this crap? I don't understand that. So this is why also Secret Invasion, the writer for that is not here. So this is why everything feels disjointed and everything. And all these characters feel different. But like I said before, if you have to ask the question of why, it's not going to be a particularly good movie and stuff like that. Because you're constantly just trying to figure crap out. And there's a lot of stuff that is so confusing in this movie. So here are my thoughts on what went wrong with this movie. First, character personalities. The character personalities are not really the same as what they were before. Nick Fury came off all broody and serious in Secret Invasion, and now here he's acting like he's in a Disney Channel show. And he's all silly and goofy and all this other crap, and it's kind of like he shouldn't have had a bigger role in this movie. He should have had a small cameo type role and let that be that. But then to make him so silly and goofy just makes no sense. Like when Monica saw that I think Kamala was falling and he's all like, go up there and fly. And she's all like, I don't know how to fly. And seriously, she didn't know she could. And he's all like, black girl magic. And it's like, what? And then all of a sudden she can fly only because the comic books can say she can, but she's never demonstrated that before. And it's just weird. Like, I understand you gotta have character development, but you don't degrade your characters by regressing their development and stuff. Miss Marvel acts just the same way pretty much as she does, like, in her series. And we needed some character growth from her. And we got a little bit, but we already know she'll do the right thing and fangirl over, like, comics and stuff like that and the heroes. But she needed more depth. Monica, she's had some character development. She's not really the same as she was in WandaVision. And so that's one good thing, that she has character development, but she has a disdain towards Carol. And the reason is, well, why exactly? Well, we find out halfway into the movie is because Carol was not there and stuff. She wasn't there like she said she would be, to help take care of her and all this other crap, because she felt so bad about what she did on this alien planet, and she just didn't want, like, Monica to feel shame by her. But one thing is, Monica had no idea what she did on this other planet, and she had no way of knowing unless Carol tells her. So that's just bad writing there. How is a little girl gonna know what you did millions of light years away and be upset about that, And she's also upset because Carol didn't come back to the Earth and help take out Thanos, and come back to our solar system, or wherever they was at, with Thanos was on that planet. And no, he was on our Earth, that's right. And he snapped his fingers and killed half of all life, killing her to where she couldn't witness her own mother, like, dying of cancer and stuff. And if Carol just, like, get over herself, she could have stopped him early on and stuff. But then halfway into the movie, she seems to just forget about her, forget about being pissed about her and all this other crap. So it's kind of like, well, why were you mad before if you're not mad now? All because here's this bad guy doing bad stuff. So you're like, okay, you're forgiven and all this other crap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then there are Kamala's parents, which they overstayed their welcome, just like Nick Fury. They shouldn't have been in the movie this much. Also with their character personalities. The mom, I understand why the mom gets the way she does. Like, she's very strict on, like, Kamala. She doesn't want Kamala doing this and doing that with her powers and stuff like that. But if somebody would have watched Miss Marvel, they would have realized her mom at the end is totally okay with her being a superhero fighting bad guys with superpowers, and even made her her own costume. But now all of a sudden her mom is back to episode 1 of not liking her daughter doing anything. So, and this is because they probably didn't watch the Miss Marvel series and stuff. They probably just like, oh, saw the first episode. Oh, her mom is like, get pissy about this, so let's just keep her that way. The plot is another thing. What plot is there really? Like, you have the motivation of the villain, oh, Carol messed their planet up by getting rid of the Supreme Intelligence thing, which, for whatever reason, caused the planet to have a civil war. And so she wants to steal, like, the resources of other planets and stuff like that. Why not just relocate to another planet? That would have solved everything. And are you trying to tell me there are no empty planets where they can survive on? I mean, come on now. Then you have like the motivation of the heroes. They know they need to stop this villain, but all they do in the entire movie is do the whole switcheroo power thing and try to stop her. And it's not strong enough. Don't get me wrong, I love the switcheroo thing with the powers. That was actually really fun. In fact, the power switcheroo, along with just CGI in general, is the only good thing I truly love about this movie. And so, like, the CGI switcheroo power thing, that was fun and everything, you know what I'm saying? However, the problem with that is like, it wasn't always explained too well. Like, how exactly are they truly connected? I don't get it. Like, okay, I get it. The bad person, opened like, two portals in two different locations. Carol and Monica both touched it at the same time. And Kamala's bangle just started lighting up for no apparent reason and stuff. And so it's kind of like, well, what's the deal? So when the bad person bangle lights up, that one automatically lights up? If so, why didn't, like, weird stuff happen with Kamala all the time in her show? Then, how are Carol and like Monica connected? All three of their powers are not the same. They are completely and utterly different. So I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just really don't get it. And so, but when it comes to the heroes and their plot, it's basically just them thrown in the mix of some random occurrence and them trying to figure out what happened. And then it's just basically them trying to, like, oh, let's save this planet. Oh, but we can't save everybody on this planet. Let's leave people die. And then they argue about that. And then, oh, you don't want to talk to me no more. And then it's just like, then when they start to get along with each other, it's like they're having a sleepover. They're all in their pajamas. They're in Carol's ship. And they're learning how to play with their weapons with paper, rock, scissors. And I'm just kind of like, oh, here we go again with the humor. And that's the next problem that this movie faces. The Disney Marvel baby humor. It's back in full string. Especially with that of Nick Fury. I cannot believe Nick Fury is like this. I have lost all respect for Nick Fury. This man started off, he was cool in the earlier days of the MCU. And even in Secret Invasion, which I hate, at least he was gung-ho in that movie. But I don't like how they keep bringing out all his personal life. I don't need to know that. He's a man of mystery. He is a spy. I don't need to know he has a wife. He's sympathetic to these aliens and blah, 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 blah. And that little alien cat. And now it's just like he's like Samuel L. Jackson is just playing himself and in a very comedic role. It's like he's on a Disney Channel show or something. And this movie at times feels like it's in a Disney Channel show, especially when you get to that of Miss Marvel and her family. And it's just weird and bizarre. And then not only the humor with that, but then you have all the stuff with Kamala. Now, I'm okay with her freaking out because she's never seen aliens and this and that. Or has she? She has seen aliens. She's seen the clandestines. Why is she freaking out with the flirting and everything? The girl has literally traveled back through time, met an alien race, got magical powers, and yet this cat with giant tentacles eating people and putting in a pocket dimension is freaking her out. I guess that is a little creepy, but whatever. But then there's Carol. Carol is character makes no sense in this movie. Every time we ever see Carol, she's moody. Like, she's grumpy, she's moody, she doesn't have no emotions. And this is something that people said is ruining her character in Brie Larson. So this time they tried to make her more human and more emotional. Only problem is Brie Larson is having trouble bringing out the comedic side in Carol. when she does bring it out, when she did the whole switcheroo and went to Kamala's house, she had a tantrum and everything. She kicked her feet on the floor, balled her fists, and went up and down. And it's just like, are you seriously? I've never seen this side of this woman before, and now she's having a tantrum like a little baby and stuff. And every time Brie has to act comedic in the movie, it just doesn't work for me. It just don't. It's just odd in everything. Like it seems forced. Like she doesn't know how to do it. But here's the problem with Brie. Now I've said before, her acting is very stiff, very wooden. But do this. Do me a favor. Hop on YouTube and search for this video. Just say Brie Larson, Craig Ferguson, and watch every late night show with him and her on there. This is from like 18, 20 years ago or something like that. There is a completely different side of her. This is back when she was 20. So this is probably like what, 15, 18 years ago. She is a completely different person. She has so much range of emotion and she's having a great time. Who is this woman all those years ago in her early 20s? Because she don't act this way no more. And if she can do that in an interview, why can't she do that on screen? Simple. Some people have a hard time acting. I've noticed this with Power Ranger actors. In an interview, they are great. But then once that camera starts rolling and somebody says action, it's like they try to act and it's not coming off very genuine. And that's how Brie is. I think that's the problem with her acting. It's mostly around her eyes. She doesn't know what to do with her eyes. And I've said that before. And so like it causes her to like not act as well, you know. But I'll get into everybody else acting a little bit later. Let's get back to the humor. So then you got the Flarkins and everything. And okay, I get it. They wanted to have those cats in there and they wanted to have this big thing. So the cats have to like, you know, it's logical. Okay, they can't teleport everybody, so they can just put everybody inside the cats and teleport the cats. Okay, they made that work, but it's still stupid. First things first, if Carol is such good friends with Valkyrie, why couldn't she just call Valkyrie to activate the Bifrost and teleport everybody to safety? She did that with the scrolls. I don't see why she can't do this here. And she can call Valkyrie anytime she wants. Also, what's going on with her and Valkyrie? This is the second time they've made the contact look with each other in their eyes. If they are a couple, Marvel just need to say they're a couple. Anyway, and just get it over with, because people are going to complain anyway. But why couldn't she just call Valkyrie to transport everybody? They didn't have to put everybody inside those cats. They only did it for comedic relief and everything. Also, it's really embarrassing that S.A.B.E.R, who is called Sword in the comics, why call it S.A.B.E.R? A saber is a sword. What? Is Marvel scared that what? Kids gonna pick up swords and go all Highlander on people or something like that? But anyway, the S.A.B.E.R crew. I am embarrassed for them. Like, okay. They should know what Flarkins are because, like, some of them look like aliens. And they work with Nick Fury. And so you think he would tell them about them and stuff, right? And at some point in time, they had to meet Carol. And so, like, every time somebody would come up to them with a Flarkin, Kamala's family, because apparently the crew of the S.A.B.E.R crew, they're not trying to get everybody inside the bellies of the cats. They're running screaming like a bunch of idiots, panicking. So Kamala's family, who is just shoved into like this part of the movie, which they don't need to be, they just need to be in the beginning of the movie, and that's it. But they are now here saving the day, putting everybody inside the cats. And the crew is running scared. And I'm just like, Kamala's family is not scared, and they're scared about everything. So why is this crew that are military scientists, astronauts, terrified of these cats and everything, when they know everything should be all right? That's just embarrassing, but that's the humor of it all. It's supposed to be funny and everything. And it's not, and it just makes them look pathetic. Also, what's up with the one dude talking about he's like over 600 years old? How? He looks human. Is he's an Asgardian or something like that? Is he an alien? It's never explained because they don't want to explain it because it's Marvel and stuff. And so another problem is the MacGuffins. Okay, Kamala's bangle is getting on my nerves. What exactly is it, and how exactly does it work? It comes from the Norse, the Noor species. Are they alien? Are they godlike? I don't know, but the clandestines know about it, and they want the bangle to go to their dimension. We know it has dimensional travel. We know it has time travel. We know it can create light constructs. And so, like, apparently now, if you use that special hammer and hit it really hard, it opens up portals, like teleporting portals and stuff from one point in entry to another. Okay, that's convenient for the plot of this movie. But apparently, if you put both bangles on and you hit them really hard and use its power, it'll kill you. And it'll make you explode like glass. At least for the alien. And they'll open a rift into a different dimension. However, when Kamala put both bangles on, nothing happened to her. Why didn't she die? Why didn't she explode? It's never explained. And in order to close this device, like, you have to have the powers of all three of the Marvels closing it up. I'm pretty sure the Norse didn't expect that, so there has to be another way to close it. So why isn't there? Another problem is repetitiveness. We've seen all this crap before. All Marvel is doing is repeating the same crap. Portal in the sky. Oh, the world's coming to an end. Some hero makes a sacrifice in the portal in the sky. There is a younger member who is a fan of, like, the superheroes. We've seen that in Spider-Man, and we've seen that in Kate Bishop. Now we're seeing it in Kamala and stuff. You know, oh, here's the hero. Oh, they're sad because they did something to screw up. And now the villain's pissed and wants revenge. How many times have we saw that before? And I'm tired of seeing that. And once again, we have another lame Marvel villain. This villain is terrible. The plan is terrible. Just find another planet and go live on that. Oh, but she wants to steal the atmosphere from all these other planets, killing them. So, okay, so something bad happened to your planet, killed a bunch of people, and now you want to take something from another planet to kill a bunch of people. Oh yeah, that makes logical sense. And last but not least, the acting. The acting was terrible in this movie all around. I've already explained Nick Fury. He was just a buffoon in this movie. And I could not take it. The best acting in the entire movie came from Kamala's mom. Yes, the mom had the best acting ever. Sadly, the dad did too. And I say sadly only because he's been Me Too. I don't know what's going on with that. You can't find it on Wikipedia, but if you Google his name, you'll find it. And so, yeah. The brother, his acting's okay, but it's better suited for television. Monica's acting is just okay, but it needs to be polished. And I think her acting is better suited for television as well. Because, like, sometimes, like, it's pretty good, and then sometimes it's, like, slightly off. And, like, you know, when she kept explaining how she got her powers, her eyes constantly kept blinking like she was trying to remember her Star Trek babble. And so, you know, Star Trek babble is hard, but you don't blink your eyes and your acting looks all bad. But it's just like hers is okay. It just needs some polishing. Brie, she's still wooden and she tries too hard to be comedic. The best time she ever acts is when she works alongside Samuel L. Jackson. That's only because, like, you know, they're really good friends. Oh, before I bring up anything else, that planet with the singing, I guess it's alright. Like, you know, it's an alien planet. Make it interesting. So why not? The dance scene was too much. The singing's okay. This is what Sam Raimi should have did for his multiverse movie. He should have had a universe where people just sing. So it's whatever. Also with Brie, Carol, how is it her costume constantly changes, like magically and everything? I don't get that. Like, it doesn't make no sense how her outfit just changes the way it does. And why isn't she as glowy as she used to be? I don't get it. Anyways, then there's Kamala. I am going to try to be delicate here, just like I was with Miss Marvel, the series. As you know, I do not like the Miss Marvel television series. As you know, I don't believe Amon, I believe her name is a very good actress. And the reason for that is because she's not an actress. She started off just like you and me, a regular person, and with no acting experience whatsoever. Somehow Marvel got a hold of her because they saw some stuff she put online, and they all like, oh, since she's already a Marvel fan and a Captain Marvel fan, but she didn't like the movie. She'll be great to play Kamala. And it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Anybody would have taken it. Problem is, whoever her acting coach is needs to be fired. Because in Miss Marvel, I've already said before, her acting is not very good. That's only because she's inexperienced. And I said this whenever that show came out. They need to get her a better acting coach and get her some acting lessons in a class, because now she's going to go from streaming show to the movies, and she's going to be with actual movie stars, and her bad acting is going to stick out like a sore thumb, and it does. Her acting, to give her some credit, got a little bit better in the movie, but it was still bad. And it's to the point now where she's gonna be in Young Avengers because of the end credit scene. She's doing the whole Nick Fury thing of starting a Young Avengers team. Trying to get Kate Bishop to join, even though Kate Bishop is way older than her and Spider-Man is older than both of them, I think. No, Spider-Man is younger than Kate, but Kate's older, but yet Kate's not gonna lead this team because apparently they're trying so hard to push Kamala down like our throats and make us love her. Her TV show was one of the lowest rated, like Marvel, MCU, like Disney Plus shows. They put it on ABC and nobody wanted to watch it. They now made her a mutant in the movies. They're now just made her a mutant in the comics when she's an Inhuman, because they're trying to tie it into the MCU. The Amon lady who plays Kamala, they even got her writing some Marvel comics. They're really trying to push her as hard as they can. And she has a fan base. I believe her fan base is mixed between people who actually like her and bleeding heart people. They know she's going to get attacked online by the anti-woke mob and everything. So people are praising the crap out of her and her performance, talking about only she can play this role, and she was amazing, and she was the breath of fresh air in this movie, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and talking about like nobody else can play her role but her. No, it's called acting. Anybody could play her role and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, I don't have a problem with her. I just wish she could act better. And I just really wish she can act better. They really need to get her some acting lessons if they're going to go forward with her as Kamala Khan, because I don't know how much I can take of this, and I'm at the point where I do no longer want to watch Young Avengers if she's going to be the one leading the way. And then that brings us to the very last person in this movie. The bad guy, or bad girl, I should say. She cannot act, period. She is worse than the Kamala Khan actress. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. You know how I feel about The Rock, John Cena, and Dave Bautista's acting. I think none of those men can act. They can act better than her. I think the only reason why she got this role is because her boyfriend plays Loki. I'm not even joking. Now, to give credit be credit is due, I want to see her in something else to see if she can actually act. The actress was actually going to quit acting many years ago, but decided to stick with it. I kind of wish she did not. And I'm wondering if her acting was so bad because simply she can't act, or is it because she wore contact lenses that made her eyes look weird and put some weird metal grill stuff in her mouth that just made her speech weird. Why in the world would you wear that metal grill thing in your teeth? it just made her performance very weak, and her character is very weak in the movie. Oh, speaking of something I forgot to mention, who taught Kamala how to fight? This takes place directly after Miss Marvel television show. In that show, she did not know how to fight. She ran, she hid, she screamed. Now, she is fighting with the best of them, doing all kind of cool, slick moves, and using her powers a whole lot better. Who in the world taught her how to fight? Who? I do not know who, because they don't explain who. And once again, you have to ask the question why. Now, how is a good way they could have fixed this movie? Well, by showing the events of what happened when Carol screwed up that planet and how she just didn't care and the ramifications it had on the planet. Let's see the Civil War break out. Let's see them unite and try to take down Carol. This could have brought them to wherever Carol was in the sky and later brought them to Earth. And then the Marvels could have got like mixed up, and like, you know, the other two Marvels could have got mixed up and assisted her. That would have been a whole lot stronger movie. She could have dealt with the problems that she faced, you know, afterwards, you know, the guilt and everything. But it's almost like Marvel doesn't want people to feel sorry no more. They don't want people to feel sad. Because after Avengers Infinity War, people saw like, oh man, they killed all those heroes. Did you see Spider-Man? He was trying to cling on to life and he just died. It was so tragic. Oh God, it was so tragic. And then next thing you know, they're like, oh, we need the Ant-Man movie. We needed to make us laugh. And so I guess Marvel's all like, oh, we must have really depressed some people, so we can't depress people no more. Or maybe it's modern day way they write females. A strong woman female character is not allowed to feel sad in television and movies. They must stay very strong. They must stay very moody, and they must, like, you know, just be rude to everybody. And you need some emotions and everything. Like, Carol is just kind of dumb in the MCU. Not dumb smart wise, but just dumb in motivation. Like, she didn't want to go back to Earth because of what happened to the Skrull. So then she wanted to relocate the Skrull. But then the Skrull are more pissed off at Nick Fury than they are her. And then next thing you know, oh, she doesn't want to return to Earth and see Monica because, oh, I messed up the Creed and everything. But nobody knows about that but you. And so you can return to Earth. And oh, when the Earth is like, you know, being like slaughtered by aliens, oh, you're nowhere to be found. It's just like, she's a terrible hero and everything. And this movie would have benefited for having her be the main focal point of what happened to that planet. Somehow the other Marvels get entangled in it and they have to assist her. And then everybody finds out her big secret. And like, you know, it turns out she is the actual villain of the movie because of what she did in the past, and she's trying to justify her actions and blah, 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 and stuff like that. Instead of having pretty much Kamala's family running around a space station with a bunch of cats and a bunch of cats eating people and stuff like that, and 3 female heroes playing like paper, rock, scissors, and them trying to use their powers and trying to bond and get to know each other and going on a singing planet, and having the villain be all like, oh, I'm just going to take the atmosphere from your planet instead of finding my own planet and everything. It would have been so much of a stronger movie if they would have done just that, but they didn't because don't nobody know how to write no more. Or, as a side twist, Monica, after finding out the bangle can go back in time, wants to use it to go back in time and see her mom, which causes a huge conflict, and like, which causes the other two to have to stop her and stuff like that because of her selfish nature. And then somehow her trying to go back in time sent her to like the X-Men universe by mistake or something like that. Speaking of which, Beast looks terrible. That CGI looks terrible. I get it. Kelsey Grammer doesn't want to put on makeup for like, what is it? 15-20 seconds. Well, you know what? When they do bring Beast into the MCU, he better put that makeup on, or somebody better too. I better not see a CGI Beast, because if your old behind can't do it, get somebody else to do it, because that's just dumb. And so yes, now we're bringing the X-Men into the MCU in the most bizarre way ever, and it's just like, you know, these are just my problems with this movie. Like, I don't mean to be negative. I wanted to like this movie only because I knew it was going to get trashed. And like, but it's just like, if you can't cook, get your behind out the kitchen.
Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.